Hello friends, welcome to this video. So in this video we will look at another JavaScript array method. This method is used for conditional purpose. So if you have a array of values and then you can actually test out a function against these values. So this method is actually called as every. So let's suppose you declare a array, a set of ages you have inside. So all these values will be numeric. So 45, 40, 35, 30, 25. So we actually declared an array here, ages. So it basically holds ages for different persons. So this is person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, person 5. So 5 ages we have put right here in this array. And now we need to write a function to actually test that all these ages, it should be above, it should be less than 50. So now to write that function, we will write a function, custom function. This function name can be anything. So we have written check age. So what this function does, it actually takes the age as an argument. So one by one, it will test out all the values of this array one by one. You can see that. So now it can be anything. I'm just taking an example right here, which is ages. So we are putting it, and what this function does, the business logic of this function is it will all just return the age if it is greater, if it is smaller than 50. So this is actually a condition that we put right here. For each age that you pass, we will compare it that this age should be smaller than 50. So one by one, now we will actually invoke this. So now to actually call this function, we actually write the function array name, which is ages, and this actually is the every method that we are talking about. And right here we will pass the function name right as an argument in this. So we will simply pass this function which we want to check. So what this function does, it actually returns either a true or false value. You can see nothing is printed out in the console. We need to print it out. So the value we need to give. So we can directly console log this value. So if you now see, true value is returned to us. Why it is happening? Because if you check, it is actually executing this function for every array value that we have, check age function. So this ages function 45, if you directly test out 45 is smaller than 50, so it is true. And then 40 is also smaller than 50, true. 35 also is true. 30 smaller than 50, true. 25 smaller than 50, true. So it actually tests out all the values which is present in the array one by one, and after that it will exactly tell you if all the values comes out to be true, then the value returned right here is true. Let's suppose if I make any sort of adjustment right here, if I change this from 40 to 60, so now what happens, condition evaluates to false because 60 is not smaller than 50. So this condition evaluates to false. So in that case, this becomes from true to false. You will see that. So if any value in the array just breaks the condition, in that scenario this function will return false. In either of the cases, in either of the elements, it breaks the condition, then it will return false. For this function to return true, it needs to pass all the values. So all the values must adhere to the condition that you put right here. So this can be anything, this function can be anything. So here in this case we are checking the ages, the age must be below 50. So in our case this value is breaking this condition, so that's why false is printed out. So if I once again change it to 30, so once again it will change from false to true. So in this way you can actually use this function for conditional purposing. in application. So if you have a set of values that you want to check for a certain condition, you can check this. You can pass the function name inside this every function. So if you want to test out to multiple conditions, you can define another function right here. So if you, I can say check age2. So age must be smaller than 70 as well. If you want to pass multiple functions, so you can, I think we can pass it, put a comma. So again it returns to true because age is smaller than 50. So again age is smaller than 70 as well because all these values are smaller than 70. So if I make some modification, change from 35 to 80, so what this happened, it again changed to false because 80 is not smaller than 50 or 70. So in this way, you can pass multiple conditions, multiple functions to this function, every function. This is a very useful function in arrays by which you can test out different functions on all the elements of the array. So it doesn't modify the array. So after you print out this value, it doesn't modify the array. It just tests out conditions based upon the functions that you write. So in this way, thank you very much for watching this video. If you do like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and do check out my website freemediatools.com, which contains open source tools regarding audio, video, and image. And I will be seeing you in the next video.